right, it is that time of year again. Nearing the end of October, so just over 2 months left in 2025, which is insane. But I've got 10 books that are kind of on my list of things to read before the end of the year. I have already started 2 of them, and these are in no particular order either. I just kind of want to put some ideas out there. This will change. I will not read all 10 of these. If I'm lucky, I'll read 5. But these are kind of the books that are on my radar right now that I would like to read. You can probably hear Belle because she's incapable of being quiet. She's cute though. Okay. Let's see. The first book, I'm waiting till it cools down just a little bit more because I think the Brontes work better in winter. So this may be a November or December kind of read. But this is my next one up. I'm reading all the Brontes books in order of publication. And yeah, haven't done Charlotte yet. So she's next. I just started this last night. This is book 4 of the My Struggle series of books. And yeah, I read about 35 pages. I love this series. I think book 2 has been my favorite so far, but book 4 is very promising. So excited to get through that. I'll probably finish it the next couple weeks, depending on how into it I get, which who knows. Then we've got this Gertrude Stein and Afterlife, which is a sort of biography that takes place kind of the first half roughly is her life and what she accomplished during her lifetime. And the second half of the biography is her afterlife. So like the way her work and life has moved on without her, I guess. I don't know a good way to say it. And I don't want to just read the flap, but I have started this as well, and I am on page 47. I think it's close to 400 pages, but very interesting woman, and her influence on some of my favorite writers, particularly Hemingway, and everyone is undeniable. So I'm excited to read this and then probably get into a work or 2 of hers, maybe Tender Buttons, maybe QED. So I've got a collection of her stuff that I want to dip into as well. Along with, or after that, I got Writers and Lovers by Lily King. She's coming to do an event at the store I work at, and I just picked up and read her new book, Heart the Lover, very recently, and so it's connected to this one. I mean, you can read them both independently, but it's connected to this one, so I am interested to see how they build on each other. But yeah, loved Heart the Lover. It was fantastic. So yeah, excited for this. We've got A Beast Slinks Towards Beijing. It's a sort of literary fantasy, I think, from what I can tell. Several generations family saga. I feel like this is going to be really good and that I'm going to enjoy it. And I feel like this is the time of year to read it. It comes out in January, but I'm going to try to knock it out fairly soon. Then the new Olga Tokarczuk, and it's new and old. It's just being repackaged because it was published in English before. This is not a new translation. Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead and The Impusium, I enjoyed both of those a lot. Haven't done Books of Jacob yet. I haven't done Flights yet, but this sounds like it's going to be awesome. I think there's something in it where, like, see, there's a man whose death, with one leg on the Polish side, one on the Czech, was an international incident. I don't know if it says it in there, but apparently I read a review in Kirkus or something where the police keep moving the body back and forth so they don't have to do the paperwork, which I find hilarious. And I feel like she can pull something like that off. That's not the whole plot of the book. I think there's a whole lot of other Tokarczukness going on there. But yeah, excited to get to that one for sure. What We Can Know by Ian McEwan. I think this is going to be a book I read soon. I never read Atonements, which is, I think, his most well-known book, but I've heard almost nothing but good things about this book. So this is an ARC, but it is already out. I just have not gotten to it yet. So, oh, and this, by the way, comes out in December. You can obviously already find the old version, but they're not very easy to find, and I think they run pricey. So this will be nice for that as well. Back to this is sort of like a literary science fiction. Says genre-bending and immersive exploration across time and the history of what can ever truly be known. So it takes place in 2014 and 2119, which I think is sort of interesting. I'm going to try to get to that fairly soon. I feel like it's going to be worth my time for sure. It's not, I say worth my time like it's huge. It's not. It's like 300 pages. But yeah, heard nothing but good things so far. A River Dream, which is says the writing and art of Russell Chatham's Clark City Press. So it's got some Jim Harrison in here. It has some Rick Bass. It has Russell Chatham. It has Thomas McGuane and some others. But it's just a beautifully produced book from Godine. And we're doing an event with Jamie, Jim Harrison's daughter, is the one who was the editor for the first iteration of Clark City Press. And so she'll be coming to the store. So I really like Jim's work. I like Thomas McGuane's newest book that I read, and I've read some Rick Bass that I really like. So a lot of these authors are authors that I do enjoy anyway, or have enjoyed in the past. I'm excited for this. I've already dipped into it some. It's definitely one where, I mean, it's just, I say random. It's just like some essays, some poems, and I think some short fiction, and then the artwork from Russell, I believe as well, is in here somewhere. But it's not a very big book, but it's going to be good. I'm excited to keep going through this slowly here and there. And I've got The Silver Book by Olivia Lang. I read The Lonely City earlier this year and really, really liked it. That's nonfiction. This is a novel. I have read their novel, Crudo, but it was a long time ago, and it was before I got into, it was when I was first kind of when I was first kind of learning about literary fiction and kind of that type of thing. I was mainly reading like Stephen King and stuff at the time, but I think someone I followed on here had talked about it, and so I read it and I was like, okay, that was interesting, kind of boring. I don't think I'd feel the same way now. But Silver Book is about art, power, desire, and illusion, which is interesting. But I'm excited to get to this. Like I said, I really liked Lonely City. I took it on I carried it around everywhere for like a couple weeks, but I took it to Brooklyn with me when I went up there over the summer on my trip, and it just, I think, helped me a lot with kind of things that were going on at the time and learning to be lonely in a more, I guess, positive sense. It's not a self-help book. It's a book about artists and writers and other people that I, to some extent, identify with. So, yeah, excited to get to that as well. And that comes out in November, so not too much longer. And then lastly, something I'm not sure if I'm going to get to or not. And when I requested the ARC, I told them I was not sure if I was going to read the whole thing or not. So they just sent me a sample. This book is like 1,200 pages long. This is the first like 160 of it, which is good because I'm not sure if I will read all of it. I never read House of Leaves or any of his other work, but I'm going to try this. The book comes out a week from today, actually. So I'll probably start this very soon and then decide if I want to read the whole thing or not. I didn't want to start it too early in case I got through the 160 pages and wanted to continue, and then I would just be sitting around like waiting like 12% of the way into the book until the book came out. So I didn't want to risk that, but yeah, should be interesting. It's a Western, and the back of this just says, "No one talks to the dead for free." So some honorable mentions, just because I don't have a physical copy of it. Patti Smith's new book. I do not have a physical copy with me. I do have access to an ARC, and I have a digital reading copy as well that I will probably start soon, but that also comes out in November, so won't have to wait too long for that. There's all sorts of stuff that I might read. I will probably read more than 10 more books by the end of the year. Probably not a lot more this year, but I feel like the later into the year we get, the more my reading kind of can pick up sometimes with holidays and with just the weather. My reading will also change, so I might get into some more fantasy. I might finally read Catabasis, anything but Catabasis. I think that is probably the worst. Even if it's correct, who knows? But even if it's correct, I still hate it. That's a tangent. Got some reading to do by the end of this year, but I've enjoyed not tracking my reading this year. I think it's helped me read books better than I did last year, and I have absolutely no idea how many I've read, so there's no kind of like anything that's attached to that for me. Like, I feel like I'm reading at a good pace for my enjoyment level, and yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. Some people really like tracking their books, and that's also fine. I think for me, it's made my reading a lot better, but some people may like that motivation, or may like a more full record of what they read. Obviously, I post pretty much everything I read to my Instagram, so I still have some sort of record of what I've read and kind of what I've thought, but there's no statistics attached to that will change the way I feel about my reading, I guess. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'm just kind of enjoying life despite car trouble and everything else, but you know, I don't know how to end videos, so till next time.